Yes. The last track meeting, because Tanner was holding it.
If it works.
So they moved Aaron out of the 4x4. Tanner is
Officially not ready.
right, they're moving Aaron back up. So have to go for a field event. It'll be interesting though, this field event is gonna be the same time as the 4x8. So still get running, might hike up a little bit. So he won't be working.
It'll be interesting because she's running 100 hurdles and the 300 hurdles. She's never run the 300, so that should be interesting. See how she survives after. Oh, he runs 100. Well, this is the first time he just said, oh, next week you're going to run 300 hurdles. Oh, okay. And like a couple weeks ago, she says, oh, you're going to do distance now. It's like, too much.
I think if we push that.
She doesn't like it, but Mrs. Evans won't give it.
Jim's trying to figure out how to redo it.
Mrs. Evans is like, oh, yes, I can tell she's living right. They're interesting.
Yeah.
This is the most unique picture.
Okay.
Very sports-minded, that's for sure.
Yeah.
What is it?
I'm
Doesn't
like,
matter if
really?
the kids
You're
get
gonna
hurt.
pick your
and
kids
won't-
up half an hour late because you had track practice. Good gracious. Yeah, he always says, if they got hurt, I'll say, they got hurt. Did they cry? That's all I care about. They cried.
They're okay, but then they cry when they got hurt.
I'm like, no, no, they sure didn't.
Bowl. Our academic quiz bowl went up against the likes of Norris, Creed, Seward to win. And we'll be out at Holdridge the April 25th. We have NISA testing continuing. We have finished up with 2, and we will have 2 more to go. We've done something different this year. We've invited Harlan Boys home to come in here and go through testing on our site. With our math, we're going to have Mr. Roger Kuhn work with their kids to go through equations, hopefully to give them some leg up maybe on some of the background before the test. My final thing is on the diplomas. If you have something that you or someone you would like to present to, and I don't have it lined up that way, let me know and I'll try to do my best to get that arranged.
Jim, I won't be able to be there,
Okay.
so you can take me.
Okay, Randy, thank you. Anyone else that's not going to be able to be there? Okay, I'll work it out and put together a different schedule, and I'll get it back to you. Thank you.
Klein?
Not too much to add, I suppose, to the written report, just touch upon a few things. Dr. Swisher from the Nebraska Department of Education, he's the Deputy Commissioner. He'll come out to the middle school on the 20th of April just to observe the administration implementation of the NISA science tests that we're doing that morning with our 8th grade. This is a pretty standard practice that they do. They go out to randomly selected schools to observe the administration and make sure that 1, schools are implementing correctly, and 2, to kind of get any information or input that might make the administration go smoother in future years. That might be something that they may change to the software that might make things better, or that might be something that they can add or change to the administration manual that might make things go a little bit better in the future. And so just thought that I would share that he'll be out to do that. Again, that's a pretty routine thing that they do. Give you some information in terms of all the assessments that we're trying to get accomplished here this particular spring. We've done these for a number of years now, and so we're used to getting them done. We'll have things wrapped up pretty much by the 1st of May. The one thing that I didn't include was that we'll also be doing the 8th grade Explore tests at the end of April on April 25th. And that's an ACT type test that we give to all of our 8th graders. So that'll be in there as well. Some of the very exciting news that we had in the middle school, each year, I don't know if you remember this or not, but we have a Geography Bowl, Geography Bee contest at the middle school every year. We have our school competition each year in November, and then the school winner gets to take a test and to try to qualify for the state competition in Omaha each spring. And we've done this now for 6 years. Each of those 6 years, our school winner has qualified for the state competition. And this year, our qualifier, Molly Nichols-Bill, and that'd be Margaret Nichols' granddaughter, she qualified and she was a finalist, and she was the first student we had qualify as a finalist. There are 10 finalists, and you are eliminated one at a time, and she came in 3rd place. Very close to being the winner. Had she won, she would have been able to go to the national championships in Washington, D.C., but out of the thousands of students who participate in this competition every year, for one of our students to come out 3rd place is really exciting and very, very good news for us. And our kids take this geography competition pretty seriously. I mean, we have some very bright kids, and we have never had the same student win the school contest 2 years in a row. So it's very competitive, and our students are take it very seriously. So I'm proud of Molly, and I'm proud of how well she represented our school and our student body. I think that's terrific. Just a couple other things to keep in mind. 8th grade graduation, something we do every year. That again will be on the last day of school. That starts around approximately 10 o'clock in the morning. It's usually 10:05. But we say 10 o'clock. It lasts approximately 1 hour. You're welcome to attend, and we do invite parents to that, and we also let community members and friends and anybody who wants to come can attend. And it is a great celebration of learning and the time the students have put into the middle school. And so if you're welcome, if you're available, I would encourage you to come. I really would. Other than that, we've had the high school orientation days for our 8th grade students already. That took place towards the end of March. 4th grade step-up days coming up to the middle school will take place early on in May, and so we're quickly coming to the end of the school year, and those things are already scheduled. Just one other note about our spring concert. I thought the spring concert was tremendous. Probably. I think it was the best one we've had in my time at the middle school. I thought it was fantastic, and Mr. K. Skinner and Ms. Jameson and Mr. Towell, our student teacher, did a great job preparing the kids. The kids did a great job. I thought it was a fantastic concert, and so they did a fine job. We do have a middle school track meet on Thursday, the 26th. That's our big invite, and some of you may even be involved in working at that meet or something like that. But if you have a chance to come and watch the kids compete, I would encourage you to do that also. So, any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
And they both have mentioned we're in the season of transitioning and closing up this year while planning for the next. So kindergarten enrollment is underway. The parent meeting is next week, and roundup at the end of the month, and so we're still gathering enrollment packets and starting to look at those rosters. Like Mr. Klein mentioned, the 4th grade move up to the middle school is scheduled, and they'll go to that campus and spend some time having question and answer and eating lunch there. And we also have our move up for the students to go to the next grade level and meet their next year's teachers. So those kinds of activities are on the calendar. And we have some assessments. We finished the NISA reading in the 3rd and 4th grade. NISA math is scheduled for next week. And so that our first round of doing that NISA reading online went very smoothly. And we also are in the DIBELS assessment. We do 3 times a year, and we just completed that. And so we had 76% of our kids that were at or above benchmark. Our goal was 80%, so we're continually looking at that. We also have an ILCD visit this week where we will review, that's the Improving Learning for Children with Disabilities, and so
Rose DiMaccia from the State Department will come out and sit down with some of the special education staff, and we'll review some of the district data that specifically relates to the students identified as students with disabilities and our improvement plans. And so when we get those finalized, we'll take a look at our next steps to meeting those. And we can fit the events on one section of the page now, where we are closing in on that time. And I would also reiterate that for you to come to our end of the year assembly, we will acknowledge our volunteers and fun run and Save for America and have the 4th grade graduation. So if you're able to make it to campus for that, you're welcome to. Any questions for me?
Questions? Mr. Norvell's rehab is going well. He expects to return to part-time work later this month, and I saw him yesterday, and he seems to be doing very well. He and myself and the whole board would like to thank all the members of the Fillmore County administrators, teachers, and staff for carrying on while he's gone. You've done a great job. Okay. Now we'll move into the action items, minutes of the March 12th meeting. Need a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Shelkoff, seconded by Kleinschmidt, that the board approve the minutes of the March 12th regular Board of Education meeting. Discussion? Roll call?
Shelkoff,
Yes.
Kleinschmidt,
Yes.
Donovan,
Yes.
Lightline,
Yes.
Maloney,
Yes.
Nunn, yes, Oshner,
Yes.
and Delmeyer.
Yes. Financial reports, need a motion? Please.
I'll second it.
Moved by Dave and seconded by Mark that the board approve the financial reports as presented. Discussion? Roll call?
Oshner,
Yes.
Lightline,
Yes.
Kleinschmidt,
Yes.
Maloney,
Yes.
Nunn, yes, Shelkoff,
Yes.
Donovan,
Yes.
and Delmeyer.
Yes. Need a motion for general fund claims? Jim?
Second.
It's moved by Donovan and seconded by Shelkoff that the board approve the general fund claims in the amount of $304,216.84. Discussion? Roll call?
Donovan,
Yes.
Shelkoff,
Yes.
Lightline,
Yes.
Maloney,
Yes.
Nunn, yes, Oshner,
Yes.
Kleinschmidt,
Yes.
and Delmeyer.
Yes. New staff contract for Mr. Andrew Kahn. Andrew Kahn, middle school instructor for the school year. Have a motion?
So moved.
Dave. Moved by Lightline, seconded by Oshner, that the board approve a contract for Mr. Andrew Kahn as a middle school instructor for the 2012-2013 school year. Discussion?
Can you guys tell, I mean, I see it's geography and technology, so what will that look like?
Right now, our plan is for Mr. Khan to spend, there may be a typo in how that's written up, but he'll spend approximately 2/3 of his day at the middle school and the last 1/3 of the day at the high school. At the middle school, he'll teach a lot of the classes that Mr. Atkinson had been teaching, and he'll, those will be some business classes and some technology classes. He'll also take on the role of building technology coordinator at the middle school. And as you know, we've been trying to, get all of our middle school core teachers into the middle school all day long. Mr. Lavi currently comes down to teach geography at the end of the day. And so Mr. Kahn will be doing that now, and so he'll be teaching those high school geography classes. That'll be his 1/3 of the day at the high school. And Mr. Lobby will be allowed to stay there at the middle school all day long.
Great.
And he's new. He'll be a brand new teacher. You know, he'll coming out of Peru State. Mr. Atkinson and I and Mr. Rose all collaborated throughout the process, and then Mr. Atkinson and I both did the interviews for all of our finalists, and pretty pleased with him. We think he's going to do a great job for us.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Roll call?
Lightline,
Yes.
Oshner,
Yes.
Maloli,
Yes.
Nunn, yes. Shelkoff,
Yes.
Donovan,
Yes.
Kleinschmidt,
Yes.
and Delmeyer.
Spirit Squad / cheerleading, we need a motion.
So moved.
Second. Dave? Randy? It's moved by Shelkoff and seconded by Kleinschmidt that the board approve the start of Spirit Squad cheerleading squad starting with the 2012-2013 school year. Discussion? Roll call?
Shelkoff,
Yes.
Kleinschmidt,
Yes.
Nunn, yes. Oshner,
Yes.
Donovan,
Yes.
Lightline,
Yes.
Maloli,
Yes.
and Delmeyer.
Yes. Census takers, this is something we do every year. Approve hiring Wanda Moses and Lori Scott. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Moved by Donovan and seconded by Shelkoff that the board approve hiring Wanda Moses and Lori Scott as the 2012 district census takers with compensation set at $400 each. Discussion? Roll call?
Donovan,
Yes.
Shelkoff,
Yes.
Oshner,
Yes.
Kleinschmidt,
Yes.
Lightline,
Yes.
Maloli,
Yes.
Nunn, yes. Delmeyer.
Yes. Okay, then we move into the discussion items. Moving the July and August board meetings back a week. Do you have any further discussion on this?
It's all right. The only problem I have with this, we set our schedule, it was a few months ago, and we said we weren't gonna move it because we said the same thing with athletics last fall. You remember how many times we moved it? And that's the only thing, you know, because we said we were gonna go this direction, we said we finally, let's just leave it alone and not touch it. So that's the only thing
I agree. I understand the reasoning for the August meeting moving back, and that's legitimate in order to close out the books, but I don't understand moving it otherwise. So I would say let's move August and leave July the way it is.
I'd say let's move both. I think if he's president of the NSAA in Nebraska, that it's important to go to the national convention.
You can still go. I can have a meeting without him here tonight.
I'd a lot rather have him here. If somebody else has to miss it, I'd rather have a board member miss it than the superintendent.
The only thing I don't have a problem with that, the only thing I'd ask them, you know, I guess we should make a recommendation or make a allowance for that board member, or if a board member does miss, that it's not counted as a miss for them.
We don't usually excuse the absences.
Okay.
That's pretty.
And I agree.
But yeah, that's all, I agree with what you're saying.
Well, I don't see a consensus here. What? We should ask each person.
I don't have a problem with it.
Okay, you say okay to move them. Okay to move them? You say just August.
Just August.
Okay, I say okay to move them. Move them? Move them? Move them?
I'm okay with it, but we'll have to look at them for the fall time then too.
Well then, Sherry, do you see the same consensus that it's okay to move?
If the whole board agrees, then I'm not going to
Okay.
disagree.
So it's agreed that the July and August board meetings will move back a week, it'll be a week later in the month.
We have to vote on that next month then.
Or
is it just-
I don't know if you do or not.
I don't think so, but
I don't think you have
we
to.
did when we moved it.
Just consensus.
Yeah.
We've never voted on it. Okay, now we go into the handbooks They sent us out copies of the new handbooks for the high school, middle school, and elementary student and staff and activities. First of all, do we have any questions for the principals about the changes?
I have one, I don't know. Under the last one, coaches sponsor handbook. And down here at the, I don't know who did this or who presented it, but under students' level of play,
I didn't understand.
I guess I have a problem with us as a board making a rule that says this, that, anything. Let's leave it up to the coaches. You know, the way I understand it says no varsity starter will play reserve games. Well, we're a Class C school. Let the coaches decide that. And I guess I want to know where it come from, or does anybody know?
I'm assuming that's Danny Malone, and I was kind of surprised he wasn't here, because I think it'd be nice to have him here, because that was the same question I had.
Yeah.
And how did 17, where'd the golden number of 17
Well,
come?
that's just an example.
Oh,
The way I
okay.
read it.
Oh, okay. But I just, yeah. So
That's
that's
what
basically
I was like,
telling me
it's
I
all
couldn't
right.
have a child that played every reserve game and every JV game. Is that how you read that as? I mean, there can't be more than 17 I'm assuming this is basketball. 17 seems like a
Right,
basketball number.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with you. I guess I don't know why we need to be so
That's,
specific on that.
we're stepping over our bounds.
Yeah.
We're stepping over our bounds.
Okay, that's why we have it as a discussion
Sure.
tonight.
Yeah,
so.
and does Mr. Malone normally come to talk about these? Because, I mean, I'm reading this as a coach's sponsor's handbook. I'm
Yeah.
assuming that's your athletic director? or-
Ken and I can ask him to come next meeting.
Do you think he
Yeah,
could?
I would think he'd be fine coming.
It's just discussion tonight.
Sure.
Yeah,
He can-
yeah.
Okay,
I'll ask him to come.
okay, thanks.
Okay. Any other parts of the handbooks that we're questioning?
I didn't look through it real close, but there wasn't anything that were really big changes. There was cleaning up some wording and
And putting in the
some
new,
legality
the
things
new
that we put in.
attendance,
New dates, new staff, new things like that.
the new
Yeah.
attendance and the new non-discrim.
Which is something we have to do every year, keep up with.
Another thing, there may be a change yet to come with attendance. The legislature right now is discussing dropout age. So that would be a change that could still come, but hasn't been passed up to this point.
Okay. Anything else about any handbook?
One other one, well, maybe Danny needs to answer that too, under fundraising. And I didn't get the handbook out in that time. I guess I was wondering if that was a change from what has been the norm from before. Do you know?
This has kind of been from last fall. We kind of adopted this policy last fall where we didn't.
Well, that's kind of what I thought, but I just,
Yeah.
I didn't get the handbook out to see if it was different from a year ago.
But I think really right now, Randy, the only thing that goes door to door is probably Make-A-Wish. And I think everything else has changed.
Like what about FFA or something like that?
I'm not sure that, I don't know.
Well, next year, I think the Lipton is the only one that can go door to door.
Athletic
Door, they
ones.
still sell the little bit of stuff.
Well, I do know, I've heard some business people that, not that they're not willing to donate, but, we're a small town, they get, every time something comes
I
up.
think we're going to hold back. Maybe much this year.
Okay, well, I just wondered if that was a change.
Okay.
And maybe this is in one of the things we review each month, but is it something that we have to vote on to change a name when a teacher retires or what they're doing, or is that something that just can be done?
That's not usually in policy, it's just, is it?
Well, evidently there was
It's
didn't
in
read
the
the policies,
handbook.
but I
But
just
I don't
like
think it's in our
Not the
policy.
policy.
Okay, so it's not,
You're-
so, but, so do we have to change the policy? You're just letting us know that's what it's gonna be?
Yeah.
But we do vote on this next week?
We vote on the handbooks next week,
Next
right?
week.
Jenny?
Next
one
month.
is good vote.
Next one.
Yeah. Okay, anything else on the handbooks? All right, then we'll move on to the Mabel Nesda Scholarship. First of all, we have to decide how many scholarships we would like to give through this, to how many students. We can give from one on down, or one on up.
We've got
Okay, we have
$1,400, is that what it is?
18.
18?
$1,800. And,
We did one last year, is that right, Dennis?
yeah, we didn't have much last year.
No, it came in later.
The money didn't get put.
Because we didn't have enough in
very
there.
select year.
This year we
Because
have more.
Because it'll be a full year now.
Yeah, so, more money this year. So do we have some opinions on that? How many scholarships to get?
It's a little more than 2.
I gotta say, I wouldn't think you'd wanna do less than 300 a person, so 6 would be the most, I think. And if you wanna spread it out, that might be the way to go, or
We
3
did
and
have,
6.
we did have quite a few apply.
Yeah. 3 and
I
6.
guess maybe we can do that each year, taking into consideration of.
I don't think this locks us into every year.
That's what I mean, it's a year-to-year
It's
thing,
our
the way I
option.
understand it, so, with that many applying, I guess, I'd like to go to 3.
That's what, I think three.
That's $600, and well, if kids in college, that buys a book, so good luck. But I mean, I read through it, and there's a lot of great ones, so I would hate to narrow it down to one.
Right.
I'd feel bad about, that'd be my opinion.
I'd say it's divisible by 3.
That was right.
It's an easy way to divide it. Yeah, and it's, I think there are at least, there's probably 12 in the candidates.
I thought there was 10 or 12, yeah. I mean, all of them were very good.
So are we settled on 3 then? Is that okay with everybody? And then she would like your
Now we need to do it tonight.
ballot tonight.
Like 1, 2, and 3, right? I
Uh,
guess in this case.
Well, I thought you
Actually,
needed to do more
the way
because,
we're supposed to do it is number 1 through 12.
I was gonna say,
Oh, we
because
are?
you have to
Yeah,
know, yeah.
and then she'll probably point it some way, and so, I mean, your number 1 might be a lot different.
Created a lot more work.
Yeah,
But I was assuming my 3 may not be anywhere near your 3,
Yeah,
so when you look at those
How do
numbers,
you
you'll be
come
like,
up
well, those
with-
are wiped
Well,
out.
you have till Tuesday morning, you got till tomorrow morning.
she wants it tonight, but if you sneak it in there in the morning, I suppose.
I'll be here for a little while.
So,
Do your homework.
I went to 2.
and if you didn't, you're supposed to turn them in to me
Okay,
tonight.
how about I'll do them after the meeting.
And why don't we wait till after the meeting? And then no, I'll just wait a minute.
So next year, put in the direction. Rank them all.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
one-
Last year there was only like 3 or 4. so-
Yeah, there was only 2 or
Yeah.
3, and we just picked one, if I remember.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get those turned in tonight. Next, we have board policy review, 4,000 for 125. Does anyone have a sheet to turn in on those?
You know, when I do mine
If we do it, there might be some typing errors.
Yeah, there's always typing errors.
They go in this envelope. I had specific instructions from Jeremy. This scholarship.
We have to hold it together.
Any more scholarship down there? Okay. Then the last thing I guess is our next meeting is scheduled for the 14th of May. Is that a problem? We'll leave it set at that. Yeah, I guess then we can have a motion for adjournment. Seconded by Randy. Roll call?
Donovan,
Yes.
Kleinschmidt,
Yes.
Shelkoff,
Yes.
Lightline,
Yes.
Maloli,
Yes.
none, yes, Ochsner,
Yes.
and Delmeyer.
Yes.
I'm not really.